Am I the asshole for wanting to wear high heels at my wedding despite my fiancé's objection? My fiancé, 31, is short. His height has always been a source of insecurity for him and he takes others' comments too seriously. With our wedding approaching, he asked if I'd consider wearing flat shoes at the wedding. I was confused, very confused. I asked if he was joking, but he went on a rant about how doesn't want to be made fun of on his own wedding. And that if I choose to wear high heels then we will look awkward in the photos and in front of the guests. I refused and he kept calling me selfish and inconsiderate and said that I prioritized a pair of high heels over his comfort and happiness for the big day. He had his mom involved and she is pushing me to reconsider. When I refused to discuss it, she said that my unwillingness to cooperate is a huge indicator of my level of maturity. She then went on a long rant about what lengths real wives are willing to go to help out their husbands and said that I'm apparently too immature and shallow to be committed in a marriage if I make such an issue out of it. Am I being selfish? It's not just about what I want, but the high heels help make the wedding dress look better and I feel like I deserve to look my best at my own wedding, just like every bride's dream. His insecurity is preventing me from getting that. Am I the asshole? Edit. Typos. To clarify, I'm slightly taller, but he said he doesn't want me to look any taller than that. Answering some questions. 1. The guests he was talking about are his male friends, and the men in his family. They comment on his height all the time, call him names from Shorty, Koala, Lil D, Hobbit, and the list is long. They even have a list of jokes about him. 2. Like I said, I'm slightly taller and he doesn't want me to be any taller. 3. We had similar arguments about this height issue before, but this is the first time he asks me to not wear heels. Other times he lets me wear them but sometimes refuses to attend events with me. 4. I'm 27 for those who are asking about my age. Does he know there are men's dress shoes with built-in discreet platforms for just this sort of situation? Some friends of mine took this approach for their wedding because the groom was short. He should look into those. ETA. Not the asshole. I don't think you should have to look less than exactly as you want to on your wedding day. Yes, I think it's on the groom to take an active part in fixing this if it bothers him. The bride can help by not wearing super high heels, but it didn't sound like that was the intent. And he can't start off by telling her she can only wear flats to formal events. For my wedding I went with 2 in heels, very hard to find some I liked as I always wore 3 inches before. Because my husband and I are the same height, and his dress shoes added about 2 inches. He said he didn't care, but I still didn't want people to talk about it. So I just wore the same size heels as he did. Why would people talk about that of all things at a wedding? I don't understand what people's hang up is about men and height. Everyone sucks here. Look, I do agree with you that you should look and feel your best, but that's equally true for your fiancé. It's not like his insecurity is a shock to you, you knew about it. Practice being a partnership and talk about it, communicate, think of ways to help like standing up for him if you hear a comment, kicking some jerk out, etc. But him running to his mom? Look, everyone deserves to have a support system and a close relationship with a parent is not bad. But having mommy lecture your future spouse is always a red flag. He needs to grow up. Think about if you want her lectures for the rest of your life when you disagree. Greater than I do agree with you that you should look and feel your best, but that's equally true for your fiancé. But the only way for the fiancé to look and feel his best is for original poster to have a lesser experience. It's like saying if the fiancé had a scar on his cheek, original poster isn't allowed to wear makeup. I'm sure there is a way they can both look their best. They just need to talk about it. The hottest thing one can wear is confidence. What real wives are willing to do? Like a real man, who gets his mama to fight his battles for him. Yeah, shows great maturity. Right? If mom is so concerned, she should be barking at the men in his family who make fun of him, not the woman who loves her son regardless of his height. If that's the mother's view and the future husband runs to mommy because his ego is hurt, original poster should really consider wearing flat shoes. Makes it easier for her to run away from that mess. Tell him to wear lifts if he is uncomfortable. Not the asshole. Thank you. Been looking for this comment. Get him lifts. Or platforms or sick heels, depends on how cool he is, he doesn't sound cool. Not the asshole. Had a coworker who was pretty short and one day he came in showing off a photo of him and his girlfriend. She's taller than him most of the time, but he was wearing these sick-ass boots with a few inches of heel on them so they were the same height in the picture. He looked awesome and they were really happy together. There's no reason guys can't rock heels, no matter your gender. Confidence is what makes a look work, not height. Everyone sucks here. I would think at 31 your fiancé would be a little more comfortable in his skin, but hey, self-love is a marathon, not a sprint. Then he goes and involves future Mill, red flag. Your response to him trusting you with this insecurity, is this a joke? Red flag. Your wedding is a day to celebrate your love, in front of an audience. I'm sure appearance is very important to each of you. No better time than now to learn to compromise. Shoe inserts for him, a heel with an inch he's comfortable with for you? I'm not sure, but if the two of you can't effectively communicate and reach a compromise without all of the extra opinions, might be a deeper issue. Edit. Original poster has made edits. My comment is in reference to the original post. I agree everyone sucks here. It might be very real for him that he gets picked on by his friends for his height, and doesn't want to go through that on his wedding day. He shouldn't bring in his mom though. You could be kinder. Also, I had 3 pairs of shoes, all reasonably priced, so less than a really nice pair of heels, flats for the ceremony, heels for photos, that I didn't even end up wearing that day, and silver Converse for the reception. So I could be comfortable. Can you wear heels for the photos, but flats for the ceremony and dancing? While the FMIL should stay out, and is a bit extreme, it is true that this day is about both of you, not how good you look in the dress. He could also try communicating with his friends, and tell them to knock it off. Or better yet, get better friends. Dunno about anyone else, but if I was honestly that insecure about something, my friends would never pick on me for it to the point of causing outright distress. That's a horrible thing to do to someone who supposedly cares about you. He has shitty friends. Yeah, I love how my friends who are assholes and make me insecure absolutely have to be at this wedding, but you're not allowed to wear heels, is just being accepted as totally reasonable here. Not the asshole, but it's a red flag for him to bring his mom into his arguments. 2 against 1 isn't a good look. He can buy some inserts for his shoes to make him appear taller. I kept thinking if he's bringing his mom in for a fight already, I worry about her involvement the rest of the marriage. Everyone sucks here. You are marrying someone who you acknowledged is sensitive about this issue, but despite loving him enough to marry him, you love the idea of your outfit looking a certain way enough to totally shut down conversation and refuse to acknowledge his feelings about how he looks on this day. I won't pass judgment on his insecurities, but I will on his handling of it. He also just unilaterally makes a declaration of what will happen without meaningful consideration for your feelings, and then, the most asshole part, he deploys his mother like a maternal drone to fight for him while he sits in the distance. Neither of you seem particularly invested in the other's feelings, and you don't appear to have tried to compromise, of which there are many. I totally agree with this. They both sound immature. His insecurities and feelings about his appearance matter just as much as yours original poster. It's a really bad sign that his handling of this situation is sicking mommy on you to reconsider. This may be a red flag for how he will handle other issues in the future. Emotional immaturity on both sides. Everyone sucks here. Not the asshole, it's not about the shoes, but your fiancé turned this into something major by calling his mom to fight his battle. He involved mommy, who keeps insulting you and spewing garbage about real wives, etc. Question. Is this really the life you want to live? Does he stand behind what she says? Is this the first time he is reacting like that, or is it a common thing? Is he aware that there are shoes with heel for men? Robert Downey Jr. wears them for filming, and he is a legend. Furthermore, if your so involves mommy once over such a minor thing, he will do it again. Just imagine you will have kids one day. My best friend's boyfriend is smaller than she is. No one gives a shit, especially not the couple. They are still a beautiful pair. Also, wedding photographers are professionals. They know how to make a couple look good. Yeah, that's def not about shoes. He's not gonna stop being insecure as long as he won. Set boundaries and cut off toxic people around him too. Seek proper help to deconstruct and cope with his insecurity. The fact that his solution for this ongoing issue on his life is to literal and metaphorically try to make you smaller shows he isn't ready for a long-term relationship. Everyone sucks here. A wedding is about 2 people coming together and forming a new household. And neither of you are doing that. One is unwilling to compromise, the other is bringing their mom into the discussion. What is more important here? The wedding or the marriage? A good marriage doesn't force one partner to limit themselves so the other feels better about themselves. And a good marriage understand we are all human, acknowledges others' faults and loves in compromises. I think everyone sucks here. Original poster knows height is an issue for her STBH, so I don't understand digging her heels in about this, pun intended, but he also needs to get some therapy. Maybe he was teased all his life, so now this is more trauma, but his original poster expected to never wear heels again. Not the asshole. You should be able to wear the shoes you want to wear to your wedding. Red flag on your future husband's insecurity as well as his instinct to involve his mother. Absolutely, it says more about his own maturity. Plus he's marrying original poster. He should start getting used to the height difference. She won't be able to make herself small for the rest of her life. Not the asshole. Not the asshole. If he felt so insecure, he should have not dated a taller woman and then pretend for her to wear flat shoes. You either are okay with your height or not. He needs to deal with this. I don't even need to comment on his mother, telling you to be more mature when her son can't even come to terms with his height and chose to date a tall woman. This, and he ran to mommy when he had an issue. This is how it will be from now on anytime he doesn't get his way. Do you want to live with his mommy as your marriage counselor? Everyone sucks here. He is really insecure and a mama's boy, so know your future arguments will more than likely have MIL's input, whereas you, I feel like, I deserve, my wedding, every bride's dream. Grooms have thoughts and wishes about their wedding days too. You know you marrying the person, right? Not your dress and heels? I wanted to add that the mill is an asshole, too, for her comments about maturity and real wives, ew. Absolutely everyone sucks here. Not enough information. Why would you invite anyone to your wedding who would make fun of your fiancé's height? Also, it's a bit rich for FMIL to call you immature when your fiancé literally ran to his mommy. Not the asshole, but I'd say compromise and wear pumps on the condition he gets some therapy. Most people don't give a F about his height, and if it's affecting him this much, he has some severe self-esteem issues. You are not the asshole. He is not the asshole for asking. He is totally tough for blowing up at you and then running off to mummy when he didn't get his own way. Not the asshole. My ex-husband was like this too. I thought it would just be the wedding, but no. As soon as we were married, I was made to get rid of all of my beloved heels because they emasculated him too much. Fuck that, you do you. I've never understood this sentiment. Personally, I feel extra masculine, not emasculated, when I walk into a social event with a tall goddess on my arm. Not the asshole, but you do realize this sets you up for a life of having to choose between making yourself look smaller than you are and having a grumpy, insecure husband who doesn't want to be seen with you, right? I'm getting Lady D and King Charles vibes here. Not just making herself smaller physically, but who knows about mentally, emotionally, financially, etc. Little man can't even take being shorter than his wife. Imagine what it would be like if she were more successful or had more friends. Not the asshole, but they're like doomed. Not the asshole, but seriously? He needed mommy to have his back and harass you? Please explain why you are going to go ahead and get married to somebody when you see such obvious red flags. As a short man, I think he is the one being insecure. What really is concerning is that a grown man ran to his mother and she is fighting his battles. This will be your life with this man. You need to sit him down and ask him if everything between you two is going to go back to his mother, because right now it seems like you will be marrying both of them. Not the asshole. Info. This can't be the first time this has come up during y'all's relationship. What do you normally do? How does that conversation normally go? Well, any conversation certainly shouldn't have started by getting mummy involved.